When we talk about hiatal hernia syndrome, we're talking a lot about gut health and talking about the microbiome and what you eat, and why is it all so important. I think you'll find interesting a study that came out a couple of years ago that was looking at the lovely virus that kept us all at home for 1 to 2+ years, and they looked at patients suffering with the virus and those who did not have it, but they also looked at the intensity of symptoms. So the people that had ongoing symptoms and had severe symptoms, and what they found was that their microbiome diversity. Now when we say microbiome, we're talking about anywhere from the 60 to 100 trillion organisms in your colon, and they found that the diversity of these organisms was very low. Specifically, they looked at what's called bifidobacterium and faecalbacteria. And then there was the bad guy, which is called bacteroides. But suffice to say that both bifidobacterium and faecalbacterium are associated with not only a robust immune system, but also associated with good gut health, anti-cancer protection, etc. So these are good guys that you really want in abundance. And what they found was just the opposite in these patients suffering from the virus, as well as having long-term symptoms associated with the virus. Now, moving forward, we all want to be avoiding viruses, but we also want a healthy gut because there's the association of lowered bifidobacterium relating to gastric ulcers and stomach cancer due to an H. pylori infection. Now, H. pylori is something that we test for regularly here in the clinic because we find it in a lot of patients. We definitely find it in our hiatal hernia syndrome patients. It can cause gastritis. It can cause a lot of stomach distress. It can cause gastric ulcers. So the fact that you've got the good guys and the bad guys, and just like in any good movie, you want the good guys to win because they're stronger, smarter, and more abundant. And in the gut, the more abundant part is very, very key. So how do we keep abundance in these good bacteria and then not allow the bad bacteria to flourish? And it has everything to do with what you eat. So having fermented foods and like kimchi and sauerkraut and yogurt, and then the fecal bacterium like fatty fish and fresh fruits and vegetables. The fecal bacterium hates sugar. So that is one thing to note, that sugar is a bad guy anywhere you look, but it's particularly associated with reducing the amount of good guys in your colon. Also though, good sleep, decreased stress, so there are other lifestyle factors over and above diet. But if you have bloating, you have IBS, you have IBD, you have constipation, you have gas, you have acid reflux, any of these digestive symptoms are not only miserable in and of themselves, but they're associated with a weaker immune system that will probably come into play exactly when you don't want it to, when something is going around and you're getting it, when the next guy or gal who has a more better diversity of their microbiome, so they've got more of the good guys in their gut, they're not going to get it. And that sounds very simplistic, but the research really is supporting it. Now that that virus is, I can't say viruses are a thing of the past because of course they're not, but there's a lot of research now coming in post the virus, and we're learning a lot about it. And none of this is surprising to me, but you deserve to know, and you deserve to know that the choices you make every single day, like choosing what to eat and the quality of food that you're eating and the real food that you're eating, and you're avoiding the highly processed food, and you're avoiding the sugar, and you're trying to manage your stress, and you're making sleep a priority. All of those things are really critical to your long-term health. But if you've been sort of putting up with digestive problems, whether it's hiatal hernia syndrome or not, but you've got the bloating, you've got the gas, you're popping Tums because you have acid reflux, it's not just about, oh, how do I avoid this symptom, you know, sort of we're kind of in the present of like, oh, how do I make this go away? But we have to think big picture. What is this really creating for your future self and your future health? So I encourage you, if you feel like you have a weak immune system, or you know you have digestive problems that you put up with, stop putting up with them. Let's delve into it now and really figure out how to fix this for good, because the ramifications to your long-term health are either wonderful or horrible. So of course I want the wonderful part for you. So let's do it. That's what myself and my team are here for. We'd be delighted to help. And by the way, if you like the channel, please subscribe. We figured out only 11% of our viewers are subscribed, and so want to get that up to 15 and then up to 20, and believe it or not, that's a pretty good percentage. But I want more people to get help, and I want more people to see this content, but only if you like it. So if you like it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll talk soon.